Welcome in and welcome all, everybody. It is From the Pocket coming at you post the best weekend of football. Still got a little bit of football left this weekend. It's MLK Day, federal holiday, and we've got the national championship on as we're recording. But
they're in the second quarter, but
yeah,
I had Indiana. I think I was going to root for Indiana for this one. They're up 3-0 right now, but Miami, they got some dogs.
got some dogs. No, I
They got
feel you.
dogs.
But we're here to talk about NFL football, Christian. We're here to talk about the divisional round and all that it brought us.
Got some news though.
Oh yeah, we've got some news to get to as well. It's gonna be a busy episode. 4 games to go through.
Yes.
A lot of head coaching changes have come up in the past couple days. I don't think we talked about John Harbaugh getting signed by the Giants, because I think that happened right after our last episode.
Did we not?
No. I don't think we did.
It's been finalized now.
Yeah.
It looks like 5 years. I don't really care about the money, but I think the holdup was John Harbaugh wanted to report to the John Mara instead of Joe Shane, the GM. So I think there was some stuff going on there, but they got it handled. So I don't know. Is he reporting to both, or what's the reporting to on that?
See, that was my big question about. We can go ahead and get into it, but just to kind of summarize, we've got to talk about John Harbaugh. Kevin Stefanski got hired, obviously. Jeff Hafley, Sean McDermott news came down this morning, and then even some OC news.
I thought you said Sean McVay. I was like,
no, not
I was like, that's crazy.
But we've even got some OC news. Drew Petzing is apparently in talks to go to Detroit, which would be a great hire for them, I think.
I think it's a pretty much done deal.
Yeah, and I think that's we'll get into that, but I think that's a good hire. And then we called it. We called it several weeks ago. Eric Bieniemy is going back to the Chiefs to be their offensive coordinator.
I saw an interview this morning or afternoon. He's getting hired?
I heard it was official.
I think it's their best year since he's been gone. Mahomes' numbers has dropped, and I think this is what needed to happen.
Yeah, and it's not a coincidence in my opinion. Like I know everybody. Well, the receivers were bad, and the receivers were the same receivers that he has had that year in 2022.
We were having hype. This was supposed to be the best receiving core they've had.
I didn't buy into it that much. I thought they'd be passable. Like I just was not a huge believer in them.
I think we were expecting a Xavier Worthy leap, and then
but
T. Rice coming back in. Like I think that's what we were expecting.
A focused Travis Kelce, but I never bought it. But I do think that 2022 was the year that Patrick Mahomes had. He had 50 touchdowns in 2018, but 2022 he has the all-time yardage record, won the MVP, had a historic season, won the Super Bowl as the MVP, first time since Kurt Warner did that in the 99 season. And that was the year we had all those discussions about why Eric Bieniemy isn't getting looks as a head coach.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be better. Matt Nagy right now is potentially looking to be the Titans head coach. That's kind of where we have landed with him.
Matt again? All right.
So we'll see if he gets that. But yeah, it's been a roller coaster. But Christian, first off, wanted to start with John Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Take this kind of first in, first out. My only concern with the John Harbaugh hire, I think it is a good signing. I'm seeing a lot of people, they're just, he's a retread. Oh, he blows leads too much. He's not, and even a lot of people are like comparing him to Mike McCarthy, which if the Giants had hired Mike McCarthy, I would have been like, good hire. Good hire. Yeah. Like, the Giants it's the same logic as the Pete Carroll thing for the Raiders. Now, the Raiders, it didn't work out. That was a whole thing with Chip Kelly and all that. I'm not going to get into that, but like generally, I think this is an adult signing. This is, look, we just need stability.
This is their fourth head coach?
It's their 7th head coach since Tom Coughlin, if you count their interims. If you don't count their interims, it's 5. But they've had 5. So it like to me, I don't need John Harbaugh to come in and win a Super Bowl. Oh, no coach has ever won a Super Bowl with two different organizations. I don't need him to win a Super Bowl. I need the Giants 5 years from now to have some playoff berths and not have more than one losing season.
Yeah.
That's what I need.
They were on the way to becoming. I mean, I think you could argue that they were in that this awful organization-wise where you're just going through head coaches, going through QBs. And, I mean, they were – since Tom Coughlin, you could say they were on that track. And, like I said, coming into the season, I thought they had at least fixed it. They had their young rookie head QB that could, potentially start. And then Brian Daboll being like the guy that fixed Josh Allen, and it did not work out. So I agree with you. I think this is a grown-up hire, as you said. I'm not expecting immediate success because I still don't know what I think about Jackson Dart. I think he has the talent, but if he's gonna be dumb and be like, "Oh, this is how I play," so I'm just gonna throw my head into 250 pound linebackers every play I can, then yeah, dude, they don't have their quarterback, but I do trust that John Harbaugh can be that rock they need in that organization. Todd Monken coming over with him too. I like Todd Monken.
John Harbaugh just cannot quit Todd Monken.
I think I like Todd Monken. Like, hey, last year Todd Monken was doing great stuff with the run game and the Ravens, and then this year defense didn't work out. Then Lamar got hurt. It was weird. So I'd like to see him with a year with Jackson Dart with so I think he could at least get this run game going. They'll get Cam Scatterboo back. I'm not saying he's at least a fun guy. Like, I'm not saying he's a
good goal line back.
Yeah,
put him in some certain packages. He's never gonna be a Bijan. He's never going to be what – I mean, even James Cook was this year, right? Like, he's never going to be that.
Yeah, but I think –
he could be like a Mike Allstott if you call back to the early 2000s, Mike Allstott. He could be like a Mike Allstott type player for them. 3 yards of carry in a cloud of dust, a good culture glue guy. Like, he seems like he's liked. But to really quick just hit the head on Jackson Dart really quick, no pun intended there. Jackson Dart 24 touchdowns this year. I mean, he was
not bad
for a rookie. I mean, yeah, like he was a really solid player
on the field,
and he didn't have a lot of turnovers. I mean, he had 5 interceptions this year, and rushing wise, he had 5 fumbles. So again, you want to get that down a little bit, but I really, to me, the question about Jackson Dart is can you just stop putting yourself in harm's way? And if he can, and I think John Harbaugh, coming from coaching Lamar, Lamar is a very special case when it comes to, we need you to play in this very specific way. You cannot be taking these unnecessary hits. You can't be diving in a way you shouldn't.
Protected. You are the most protected player.
And you're the franchise.
On the field.
And you're the franchise. So I think that's a good pairing in that way. And again, there's levels to this. If you were asking me, if the Bills had hired John Harbaugh to say, we need you to take us, I would have questions, because I'm like, John Harbaugh couldn't get over the hump in Baltimore. I'm not totally convinced he's going to be able to do it in Buffalo, but there's levels.
Team.
Like, Todd Monken and John Harbaugh are going to bring stability. They're going to give you probably 7-8 wins your first year. You're going to be competitive. That's what you need in New York. And that's why I think the NFL loves this, because they're just like, thank God one of our New York teams can stop bleeding out. Yeah, I mean, they have 109 losses in the past decade. I mean, that's ridiculous. Yeah. So, yeah, no, good on them. Good on the Giants. I like the hire. And then as for... let's talk about Sean McDermott really quick, and then we can get to kind of the good news of the hires and stuff. Yeah, I know you want to talk about Jeff Hafley. So, really quick, what was your reaction to the Sean McDermott news?
I was shocked. Not gonna lie, I was just like, "Oh damn, they really."
Same thing with the Harbaugh. It's like we talk about it all the time, but then when it happens,
Yeah, you're really just thinking about. But I mean, it's tough. This is his ninth season as the Bills head coach. His overall record 98-50, very good regular season record, but 8-8 in the postseason. Lost to the Chiefs twice in the AFC Championship. 5 consecutive AFC East titles, and then finished second this year. I mean, it was good. The reality is, they're good in the regular season. Josh Allen's in MVP discussions every year, even when he probably shouldn't be. But when we get to the postseason, and I got my defensive head coach, coming in every season, very good at, stopping the pass or whatever, or wherever they ranked in these years with Sean McDermott and Josh Allen. They come in the postseason, and that defense don't show up. I don't know what it is. I think in their losses, I think his teams, I saw on ESPN, I think it said like a 31 points per game. His defense is giving up in these playoff games.
When you're a defensive coach, that is brutal.
So, I mean, it's shocking, but like at the end of I think like you talked about last week about we're moving in this new era of football almost. I don't know. I feel like we're kind of looking at this not like we need it now, but I mean it's been 9 years, and this was the time for Buffalo to go seize the AFC. No Mahomes, no Lamar, no Joe Burrow, and you don't get it done. I mean, we'll talk about how we thought the game was when we talked about the game, but I mean, and then it probably was not a great look. Last thing, this is probably not a great look. You being in the press conference, whining about the interception call, that also probably doesn't look great, especially when you have your quarterback Josh Allen, who's like, "No, put that loss on me." Not a great look. So,
I did. Look, we'll talk about it. I don't want to spoil. I didn't totally disagree with Sean McDermott on that kind of the way it played out, because we'll talk about it. I didn't take it as he was complaining about the calling as much as he was the process. But again, we'll talk about that. I do want to say this about Sean McDermott. Look, for Buffalo, I think, again, like Baltimore, it's tough to be like, we're going to get rid of John Harbaugh, because
it's been
18 seasons, 19 seasons,
a
Super Bowl appearance, Super Bowl win, multiple playoff appearances, consistently winning. Like, that is a tough thing to say. But for the Bills, I think it's even more tough to say goodbye to Sean McDermott, because people, I know it's hard for people to kind of remember because of what the past decade has looked like. The Bills, for years, were a laughingstock. They were a they were a bad team. But literally my whole childhood, they were not a good team. Like the Bills were they were like the Jets. They were they were, the Saints before Drew Brees and Sean Payton. They were just like, they're the team that's going to go 4-12 every year, 5-11, 7-9. Maybe they get lucky, but like they went 17 years without making the playoffs. Sean McDermott comes in his first year and gets them into the playoffs with Tyrod Taylor as his quarterback. Yeah. And then, they had 12 losing seasons in the 17 years before Sean McDermott got there. And then year 2, they draft Josh Allen, missed the playoffs, and then it's been history. They've made the playoffs every year since. And they've been perennially Super Bowl contenders. So, like, you're giving up a coach that, like, saved in a lot of ways, like, your franchise. Like, made, like, people – I know Josh Allen is the turning point, but, like, I feel like a good coach gets you by himself to 9 wins, right? It's the coach and the quarterback that gets you to that elevated Super Bowl status. Kind of like why Mike Tomlin never really has gotten back to that Super Bowl status, because he hasn't had the quarterback. The Patriots minus Drake Maye with Mike Vrabel, they'd probably find a way to win 8 or 9 games. Like, that's what Mike Vrabel would do.
Yeah.
But when you have Drake Maye, that's when you become elevated. And so that's really, I feel like, what happened to the Bills. They got the coach right, and then they got Josh Allen.
Yeah.
And look, I'll quote him. I don't quote him very much on the podcast, but I think Nick Wright has a really good take where he says, especially looking at what's happened with the Patriots this year with Drake Maye and Mike Vrabel, it's if you have the coach and the quarterback right, you are always a Super Bowl contender. And if you're coming up short, it's because one of those guys is not the right guy.
Yeah.
And I as if you're the Bills, you kind of need it to be Sean McDermott and not Josh Allen, because Josh Allen is on any given Sunday, he is the best player in the NFL.
Yeah.
And you want, so you don't, it's not him. Like, you're like, we feel like we got it right with Josh Allen, even though he does have he has some playoff issues from time to time that crop up, like he did against Denver on Saturday. So okay. I understand the move. I think it's tough. I think Sean McDermott's a great coach and a really good commodity, and I'm really curious to see who ends up hiring him, because I do think he will get hired. But
oh yeah, for sure.
I think for Buffalo, I understand the move. I understand it, and especially like, again, man, people are just shedding coaches. Mike Tomlin gone, which he left on his own. He left on his own.
He left on his own accord. Yeah, John Harbaugh got fired.
John Harbaugh fired.
Yeah, it's been a lot. Tennessee fired their coach in the beginning.
Brian Daboll, obviously. I mean, we had 10 head coaches. Kevin Stefanski fired, so he just got hired. So
I mean, he has Arizona, Cleveland, Miami. I wouldn't want to go Cleveland, but Tennessee, Baltimore, Pittsburgh. Like, you got choices, you got options.
And with that, let's talk about some of these hires. So, Christian, I know you've been waiting. I know we got to talk about Kevin Stefanski and stuff, but I do want you to go. How are you feeling about Jeff Hafley?
I like it. I mean, I do. I guess we're shifting. You know, we went with the offensive genius kind of guy. Now we're kind of going to a defensive coordinator and a defensive head coach in Jeff Hafley. Coming from Green Bay, you know, we just hired their GM, who also just came from Miami, or from Green Bay as well, John Eric Sullivan, as our new GM. And I think I saw an interview. I didn't watch it, but I saw an interview of him talking about the identity of Miami. You know, we can't play in the cold. So I like taking a defense coordinator now. You know, we do see that time to time for teams. You know, they'll do an offensive guy, then they'll go to a defensive guy. I do think we need that kind of culture reset for Miami. You know, we always get the bad rap of like, well, you come to Miami, you know, you got the women, you got the beach and all the distractions. So I do like that. I do like that our GM and our new head coach have worked together. So, you know, we don't have that like miscommunication. I believe everybody should be on the same page. You know, Hafley's coaching the team. Sullivan will be, you know, running the GM. So I like the cohesion there. So I'm excited. I'm really excited for this. Hopefully, now I think next year is going to be a bit rough. We have a pretty tough schedule too. But I think this is our, you know, building year, so I'm not expecting too much. I'm just hoping I'm not seeing it be an insane circus story around the Miami Dolphins. I just want the stability, and hopefully, you know, our defense can step up. We had a lot of injuries on our secondary and all that stuff. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this head signing, and I really like it. I hope he works out.
No, I think it is a solid hire for y'all as well. Again, I think I'm always very interested.
So we're doing it now. We're running it back again with the first-time head coach. That makes me a little bit nervous.
But it's that boom or bust. Like, if he hits and he is if he is a Ben Johnson type of figure, obviously he's a defensive guy, but like if he is just that Liam Cohen type of guy, just that dude that comes in and it's immediately like, oh, we have one of the best coaches in the NFL right now.
Hoping we need that.
I mean, that's the best case scenario. And like Jeff Hafley, I feel like his record does precede him. Like he's got a really good reputation. And again, I do like that familiarity, as you just said, between your new GM and him, both coming from Green Bay, which Green Bay's obviously got a great history of producing some good coach and talent. So yeah, I like it. And I think I think something that's just very interesting about how teams operate is they had this, what we all thought was this offensive-minded guru. And I mean, I think he is. Like, I think Mike McDaniel, anybody would be lucky to have him as an offensive coordinator.
I think he should be hired as a Like, but he might go back to Stanford. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure he might. But I just to see them bring in somebody that's like, we need somebody that's going to give us a toughness, a culture. Now, granted, they had that with Brian Flores and kicked it to the curb. So, which I know that's probably more personal issues than like not liking the job Brian Flores was doing, because Brian Flores was doing a good job. But I am curious to see if Jeff Hafley can kind of instill that toughness, quote unquote, that we've always felt like the Dolphins kind of lacked. So, all right. Very exciting, though. Exciting stuff. And then, of course, Kevin Stefanski, Matt Ryan getting hired as the president, Kevin Stefanski getting hired as the new head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. I have some thoughts on this, but I'll throw it to you really quick, Christian. How are you feeling about this?
Also looks like they're keeping Jeff Ulbrich as their DC as well.
That's a great keep, because Jeff Ulbrich, that defense was really, really good for Atlanta. Jeff Ulbrich
for the Jets,
yeah, he was really good for the Jets. Not a head coach, he struggled as the head coach. Which, to be fair, it seems like everybody struggles as the Jets head coach. Todd Bowles was the Jets head coach and got fired, and I know he's having some issues in Tampa, but he's had a pretty good run in Tampa Bay.
He saved his job. He was one of the people that we thought could be on the hot seat.
He's done a pretty good job in Tampa, all things told. So, but, maybe it's more New York Jets than Jeff Ulbrich. But Jeff Ulbrich, I think that's a great decision to keep him around.
I like this move. I'm just worried about what they're gonna do with quarterback. Like,
you hit it.
I'm not now. Maybe he can show me something with Michael Penix, but I don't think Michael Penix is it. Is Kirk Cousins still under contract? Does he have one more year with Kirk Cousins?
They're gonna cut Kirk Cousins.
That's fair. I am not sold on Michael Penix. I'm not sure what the Falcons are gonna do. I don't think it's gonna be a deep quarterback driven kind of league. So this might just be like a see what we can get kind of year for Atlanta, just a rebuilding year. I don't know. I mean, I don't think if I'm Arthur Blank, I don't think I have my quarterback right now, but I don't know what's being said in that building. I don't live in Atlanta. I don't work for the team. I wish. That'd be pretty cool. But I don't know what their thinking is on Michael Penix, but I do kind of like this move. See what we can get from Kevin Stefanski, winner of Coach of the Year twice. I think he did it twice.
He did do it twice, yeah.
So he's a good coach, and I think I'm pretty sure he knows offense.
He's phenomenal offensive coordinator. He was, to be fair, he came from the Vikings with Kirk Cousins back in the day, so maybe there's some he wants to work with Kirk. I don't think so.
I'd want to get younger. I would want to get younger. I don't want to reach for it. I'm not trying to give Kirk Cousins more money. The man's already made enough. You don't need
I would too. Yeah, I agree.
So, I like this move. I'm worried about what we're gonna get for the quarterback situation. But I mean, they're young. I think they're a young and ready team. You talked about Jeff Ulbrich and that defense playing well. If they could just get some good quarterback play, now we'll see what the Saints do. I think I'm kind of not in so really high on Tyler Shuck for the Saints, but I like what him and Kellen Moore did in New Orleans. So, and this division's up in the air right now. So, yeah, I give this probably like a 6 out of 10.
You kind of hit exactly what my feelings on it were. I love the hire just because I do think, Kevin Stefanski is a really good coach, but like Kevin Stefanski's biggest issue in Cleveland was they never got the quarterback right. Technically they had it right with Baker, and then they said, actually that's not good enough for us, the team that is historically bad with quarterbacks. We don't want to have a top 14 quarterback. We can do better, and they couldn't. So like, and the year he had competent quarterback play, right? Baker took him to the playoffs. And then Joe Flacco had a pretty good year for them for those 6 weeks, and they got back to the playoffs. So, he's coming into Atlanta that a little similar to Cleveland, not like as poorly run, but just like we think the defense is good. He's got some real weapons, good offensive line, Bijan, Drake London, Kyle Pitts is just there, but he's fine, I guess.
Yeah.
But they don't have the quarterback. And I am like, it really is just like, are we about to see Kevin Stefanski part 2 just struggle through not having his quarterback again? I don't know. Yeah. I have a little more confidence in Atlanta as an organization to probably get it right.
Yeah.
But kind of I'll believe it when I see it type of thing. So
yeah, exactly.
That's really my only concern with this hire. But congrats to Kevin Stefanski. Congrats to the Falcons. I like it way more than I like the Raheem Morris hire, because the Raheem Morris hire, I was never on board with that. I never understood why they did that. It just didn't make sense to me. So anyway, okay, cool. All right, Christian. Well,
do you want to talk about the Lions getting?
Yeah, we can talk about that really quick. So I'll just say really quick, I do love the hire. I thought Drew Petzing was doing a really great job in Arizona.
The best he could do. He could do what
they lost their running backs. James Conner obviously got hurt, but like last year and even some of this year when he had his healthy kind of stable, he was really producing like a top 5 run game. And I think because of that, he really fits well with what the Lions want to do, because he had Trey Benson and James Conner, that kind of 1-2 punch.
Now you get Jahmyr,
and now you're getting Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. Like you're gonna have that 1-2 punch. It's gonna. I think you have a really good quarterback in Jared Goff. I think he's a really good fit for them. I think, in Arizona you're limited by some of that personnel. You're not gonna be limited in Detroit. Great offensive line, great running back for that 2-headed combo. Great weapons. Jared Goff is a solid quarterback. Like I really think this is a great move for Drew Petzing and for the Lions. Would not surprise me if 2 years from now Drew Petzing is getting hired as a head coach somewhere.
Yeah.
So,
especially if he does a great job in Detroit, which I think I do share your sentiment as well that it could go well. But yeah, I think that's it. Let's get to the game.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and start with the game that kicked it off, the most controversial game of them all.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
The Bills and the Broncos played for 5 quarters, played to overtime. Denver kicking the game-winning field goal, 33-30. Some controversy at the end of that one. Some turnovers. Josh Allen had a tough game. And then, obviously, the news that came out of it, Bo Nix, broken ankle on that last kneel-down play.
I was like, this is a joke. Like, I thought this was like the Luka thing. I'm like, who's hacking Adam Schefter right now? Like, how is this possible?
It was very bizarre. It was, and I don't have any explanation for it. I will talk about kind of after this, I think, what I think it could mean for next week. But for now, want to focus on the game first. Christian, what were your takeaways from the game here?
I'll start by saying this. I'll start with the team that won. Bo Nix, good game, my man.
AFC Championship, baby.
Good game, my man. I thought he played really, really well. This one, he had that interception late there, but overall, I thought he played really well for them. They did not. He was their leading rusher for this game. So he kind of did it with his legs for a bit. Was not getting any help from his running game. But I thought he played really well. So I want to give him my props. I've been kind of saying he's the weakest link, but in the Broncos' biggest game since Peyton Manning retired, I thought he played really well. So 3 touchdowns, 279 yards. They were So he was really good. Defense made some plays here and there, but yeah. Now I think it's the more what I have more is about the Bills than about the Broncos. I think it was just a good overall fight for Denver. Yeah, I think all my opinions and stuff go to the Bills. Really.
Yeah, I feel you. So I do want to start out kind of by saying going into this, Denver, it felt to me, really needed to be able to run the ball. And they didn't run the ball super well. Like, they ran it okay. Buffalo obviously has one of the worst rush defenses in the league. They have a really strong pass defense. And to me, it was really a mismatch between Bo Nix not being great at zone coverage against zone and the Bills being one of the best zone coverage teams in the NFL. Like, they are one of the best zone coverage defenses in the league. And Bo Nix, I mean, hey, kudos to him. He had almost 300 yards passing, 279 yards. I mean, he really – there were so many – for both teams, really, but so many third downs I was just left so annoyed because nobody could get off the field. For Buffalo, early on, they were running the ball very well. I mean, they were running it super well. The Broncos were having a hard time stopping it, and to me, that was kind of their recipe as well because they came into this game with 3 receivers, like starting. I mean, they had no receivers, and I know Pat Bryant got hurt for the Broncos early, so it kind of evened the field a little bit in that way, but I felt like for Buffalo, what you saw was as the game went on, Denver did a really great job of adjusting to stop that run, and Buffalo just didn't have an answer offensively. Like, they just didn't have the dudes that they could say, okay, like, you have now stopped our run, now we're going to go over here. They didn't have that, and I think that really hurt them late in the game as the game went on later. I also think, I mean, the turnovers, just 5 turnovers is just ridiculous. I mean, that turnover at the end of the first half is one of the worst turnovers I've ever seen.
I don't. Now, look, I hear you. It really hasn't been working out for the Bills receivers since Stephon Diggs has kind of left. It hasn't been really working out. I know Keon Coleman, he had a catch in here, he had a sighting. I know that, but I think Dawson. I'm not saying it's enough. You do need some receivers. You can, but I don't know if you want to do double tight ends all the time. But I mean, I do hear you on the weapons, but if you don't walk away from this game saying Josh Allen cost them this game,
yeah,
then I don't. What game did we watch? Like, I hear you on the receivers. Defense wasn't amazing as they kind of do in the playoffs here where they give up a ton of points. But I mean, I'm not putting it all on Josh. James Cook had a fumble in this game as well, but it was just some awful turnovers, like you said at the half. The play in the third quarter, like, my dude, you're down 6. You just got an interception. You're on their 40. Why are you throwing it into double coverage right now? The game is still, you had 5 minutes left in the third, my guy. What are we doing here? Why are you taking that risk?
No, I agree. Like, I think, I don't know if it was a symptom of Josh Allen just feeling like he had to press and make something happen, but like, this was not the defense.
In the third quarter, 5 minutes. You had all the time, and the game wasn't. You had just scored, and Denver gets the ball back, and Bo Nix throws a pick. You're in prime position. At worst, you get a long field goal. You're down 3. You got to be feeling good about yourself at that point. Like you've been you're going into the fourth down 3 and you're Josh Allen. Like that's easy money. The pressing was, I didn't understand that. I'm not gonna blame him on the over like that the overthrow to Dawson Knox at the end of the game. That happens. You do want to complete those when your guys are wide open like that and you make the right read. So that's tough. But yeah, like, and then the fumble and then the other fumble, like, yeah, I'm sorry, Bills. I don't feel bad for you for that overtime interception because this game should have been a lot worse. To be completely honest with you, it was 10-23. Like, good on Josh Allen going down and responding after they got the field goal, going up 13 by getting that touchdown.
Yeah, I think Josh Allen, that was kind of my takeaway, is like I was so shocked at how immediately everybody really wanted to defend. It's not his fault.
Yes!
And I'm not trying to make any commentary on this, but it is tough for me to believe that, like, if Lamar had played this game, if Jalen Hurts had played this game, like CJ Stroud played a borderline, to me, an even worse game than what Josh Allen played against the Patriots. CJ Stroud just literally at one point looked like he should not even be like quarterbacking because I mean his confidence was so shook. He just, I think Troy Aikman said it best about CJ Stroud. It literally just looked like he was just throwing and praying. But we're having that conversation about CJ Stroud. You know, like nobody has any guys about whose fault that Texans game was. You know, but when it comes to Josh Allen, 4 interceptions, some of the worst ones you're going to see from a quarterback. And it's not his fault. What do you want him to do? And it's just, I can't help you there. It's very similar almost to Justin Herbert. It is. Like, I hate to say it.
No,
it's not his fault. Like, you can't blame this on him. And it's like, you kind of can. You kind of can.
Like, the fumble. Dude, why are you being loose with the football? This is a playoff game. Possessions matter. We're in the divisional round. Like you win this when you got a chance to go to the AFC Championship. Like, there are stakes to this game. There's a reason why Denver is in this situation. And you being loosey-goosey at the end of the half, they go get down, get a field goal. You're down 2 possessions going into half, and then you fumble again. And we get a sack fumble at the beginning of the second half. Like,
it was tough. It was tough. But we should go ahead and talk about the controversy at the end of the game. The catch that wasn't a catch, that was ruled an interception, and then people thought it should have been ruled a touch or a catch by Brandon Cooks, and then the 2 PI calls that put Denver into field goal position. Want to take them one at a time really quick.
Okay.
The big one obviously being the catch. What were your thoughts on the catch?
The Brandon Cooks catch?
Yeah, the catch that wasn't, I guess.
I'm torn on it, to be honest with you. It's funny that we saw it later in the Rams game, but I feel like the one with Devontae Adams, I think that was like a pure, like he had control of it all the way to the ground. It was kind of a bang play. It's kind of hard to say who had possession. Like, he caught it, yes, but as soon as he catches it, him and the defender are like tumbling on. Like, immediately he catches it, they're tumbling on the ground, and the Denver defender takes it away from him. I think by the letter of the law, since he didn't survive the ground or whatever, and I guess he didn't like fully control it as they were tumbling. I don't know. That's up to, I don't know how, I think the rule is, I don't know. I'm a little iffy. I'm still a little iffy. I'm sort of not entirely sure what a catch is, but
yeah, I feel that. So like for me,
this is like one of those gray areas. That's like,
yeah.
wait, like this is a crazy situation.
The thing that's so annoying for me was the immediate reaction from Bills got robbed. Yeah. This game was rigged. And look, I thought the decision was the right one. But like, and I made a post saying that, and it got a lot of traction, but like it really took away, because my entire point was to be like, the rigged narrative is nonsense. And you know, I'm like, I thought he did catch it, but that, and instead of like engaging with kind of what I'm talking about, which the main point I'm trying to say here is like, this was a 50-50 decision. Like, you cannot, for everybody who is absolutely so sure about what happened, like, you're just wrong. You're just wrong, because there is a reason half of all people are saying, I thought it was this. And half of all people are saying, I thought it was this. So to like come out and be so incredulous and so sure that it was this thing that happened, and then as a result, because it's a result you don't agree with, say this game is like the ref is sitting there, and I don't know if it's going through their mind in the moment, but it's like, I'm about to make a decision that's literally going to decide one of these teams' seasons. Because if he rules it a catch, Bills are kicking a field goal, they win.
Yeah. And
if he rules it an interception, Denver's got the ball and has some momentum to really go down the field and score. And it's so irritating to me that, like, people have no grace for that decision. And also the process, which it gets back to the Sean McDermott conversation, because Sean McDermott, to me, I didn't disagree with what he was saying. He was griping about the fact that he's like, look, the review for that, they went way too fast on the review for that. Like, you're deciding a team's season right here. You should at least take a little bit of extra time, but it felt like they were trying to expedite it and give a ruling. And I kind of understand that frustration. He wasn't saying they got it wrong. He was just saying, I wish they had been more deliberate in the decision. So I can kind of get behind that. And like, there is a real, you know, how New York steps in and rules things and what the challenge protocol is. Like, I think those are things that the NFL's been trying to fix for a while. So like, I do think there is a case to be made there, but like, ultimately, the ruling on the field was an interception. And the only way the NFL is going to overturn that is if they look at it and definitively say, Brandon Cooks had the ball and had possession. And as much as people want to pretend like it's there,
it's not.
There is not nearly enough evidence to say definitively he had possession of the ball. And I did want to say this. I did want to go through the three sections of what is ruled a completed catch. So nice. Part 1, A, secures control of the ball in his hands or arms prior to the ball touching the ground. Okay?
Yeah.
And touches the ground. I think
where this comes into.
Exactly. And this B, and I think A and B are met, right, with Brandon Cooks. Touches the ground inbounds with both feet with any part of his body other than his hands. That is A and B. So I think Brandon Cooks, you could make the case that he did, and that's the case they're making. He had control of the ball, and he was down. That's A and B. But C is something I think a lot of people are missing, which is after A and B have been fulfilled, clearly performs any act common to the game, extending the ball forward, taking an additional step, tucking the ball away and turning upfield, or avoiding or warding off an opponent, or he maintains control of the ball long enough to do so. He didn't do that.
Yeah.
Definitively, factually speaking, he didn't do that, because if he had done that, Jaquan McMillan would not have ended up with the ball. So I think like people I think they just need to chill. I understand Bills fans. Well, like I got no beef with Bills fans being mad. Like, your season ended, you know, I wasn't somebody that thought the Dez caught it scandal ended our season as much as other people did, but like, it was still frustrating at the time. I feel it.
Yeah.
But if there had not been a defender there and Brandon Cooks catches it and goes to the ground and the ball falls out of his arm and falls to the ground, that's an incompletion. Like, we're not sitting here going, well, before the ball flew out of his arms, he had possession and fell to the ground. Like, no, he lost control of the ball. Like, he didn't complete the final part of that process. So we're spending a lot of time on this. But, like, my point is to say, I think that the call was right, and I think the call was correct based on the letter of the law and based off of the video evidence that was not there to overturn it. But, like, I also think if you want to disagree with that, it's fine. Just also understand that, like, the other side has some real validity to it. And just because this happened with an outcome you didn't agree with does not mean the game is rigged. So that's what I got. Let's talk about the PIs really quick. Those aren't going to take as long. What were your thoughts on the PIs?
I saw your short. I hear you kind of on the first one. I thought he did kind of have his hand on the first one. I wasn't really upset with that. I thought it maybe could have been. I thought it was a pass interference. That second one though, I get it. You're upset, Tre'Davious. I don't have nothing against him, like throwing his helmet. Like, hey, that ends our season. But dog, you wrapped him up before the ball got to him.
Armbarred him.
Like, you
armbarred him.
I'm sorry, dude. That was a pass interference. Like, I know it sucks getting back-to-back pass interference calls and the second one being your season, but I'm sorry. That second one, dog, you had wrapped him up. I'm sorry. Like, that first one, I thought it was. I know you said it was ticky-tacky. You probably wouldn't have called it, but I think it was. I think you could have called both. I think both were, especially the second one.
So two things on the first one. One, I did think it was ticky-tacky. Not that I disagreed with it being the letter of the law, but I had just felt like they had not been calling it up to that point. Now, some people were saying, because the play right before that was, I think it was Benford was in the coverage. He had a play that looked almost identical to that, and they didn't call it. And then the next play, they did. And I don't know, some people were like, it was a makeup call for not getting the first one. And I know, like, also sometimes these discussions happen on the field where, like, like you have a holding or something. Will be like, hey. And the ref won't call it, but he'll be like, dude, you do that again, I'm going to have to call it. So, that is also an ongoing thing that we, maybe there was like a warning, like, hey, it's like, you guys got to, like, not be contacting them so much down the field like this. If it keeps happening, we're going to have to call it. And then it happens again and they call it. So I don't know if that was going on. But also, I will say this. There was a roughing the passer call on that penalty too, or on that play by Joey Bosa. And it was a blatant roughing the passer. So it was like a 17-yard PI penalty or a 15-yard roughing the passer penalty. Like, okay, it's a 2-yard difference. And that second one, like, I saw the funniest video from this content creator. I don't want to insult him. I don't know the man personally. I'll just say his take was very dumb because he was like, his take was literally Trey White got there a couple of milliseconds early. And he's like, what do you want him to do? Like, what do you want the defender to do? And it's like, how about not get beat on the play? Because that's what happened. Trey White got beat on the play and wrapped him up and armbarred him. There's no way to argue. He directly impeded the catch. Directly. So to me, that was an obvious, like, there's no argument like for saying that should not have been called. That was a clear pass interference. I understand the frustration when it's like you have a controversial call that half the people don't agree with, half the people do. Yeah, emotions are high. And then you have two penalties. It's been a clean game the whole time, and then two penalties basically decide the game. Yeah. It's frustrating. I get it, and I wish there was a better answer. Yeah. But, it just kind of is what it is. So, sorry, Bills. I know it's a tough season. I was hoping y'all would go all the way, but to be honest, I think anybody would have rather wanted to see Patriots Bills than Patriots Broncos, especially minus Bo Nix. So it's unfortunate.
I'm still kind of excited about that one. I don't know. we'll see how it plays out. We don't know how it will play out.
And I'll be honest, we're a little over on time, so like let's save the Bo Nix, Jared Stidham discussion for next episode, and we can just move on. Anything else on the Bills Broncos?
No, I think that's about it for me.
All right, cool. Let's move on to. We'll move on. Let's just do it in order. We'll knock out this one.
I have not much to say here. To be honest.
So, the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Destroyed.
Yeah.
The 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. It's really weird because I am not a big predictions guy. I don't love predictions. I kind of just throw.
Really?
I don't like predictions. Like I do, they're fun, but like I don't take them seriously. Like I pick random upsets in our like final segment. Like they're fun to do, but like it always makes me laugh when like you make a prediction and you're literally we're just guessing. Like we're just guessing ultimately. We don't know. It's educated guesses, but like and people are like, your educated guess is stupid. My educated guess is the right one. Yeah. And then you have these like 50-50 games and they go against you sometimes they don't, and then people come in with their full chest because they were on the right side of what basically was a coin flip and act like I was right the whole time. I told you, and it's like, yeah, I guess you got it right. You got the coin. You guessed heads, and it was heads. Like, good job. It's just it makes me laugh, but like this one to me was like I didn't know how to like tell 49ers fans like, guys, y'all are not going to win this game. Y'all aren't. Y'all are just not. Y'all can't. And like 49ers fans are all just like, can't wait to beat Seattle. Here's all the excuses Seattle's going to have when they lose. And it's like, guys, I don't know how to tell you this. Y'all, and then we saw what happened. Like
from
the opening
kickoff, Rashid Shaheed takes it to the crib, 95 yards. I stopped watching this game once they went up 24-6.
The ultimate insult. Yeah, no,
they scored that. I was like, it was 6-17. They just got the field goal. I was like, yeah, I'll keep watching. 24-6. I was like, yeah, they're not coming back.
And I'll say this. So we talk about CJ Stroud. We're about to talk about him and how bad of a week he had. In terms of EPA per dropback, according to Next Gen Stats, Brock Purdy was worse than CJ in EPA per dropback. And I'm not trying to say Brock Purdy had a worse game than CJ Stroud. Brock Purdy, to me,
he couldn't do it.
He had the highest pressure rate of any quarterback this week. And I thought Brock Purdy was about the only thing that they had going for them in this game. Like he had some heroics. He wasn't able to do much.
Yeah.
I
like Brock. Everybody's pooping on. I like Brock Purdy. Like he's clearly a limited guy, but has still good. He's been to a Super Bowl. I am a Brock Purdy fan. I like him. He was their leading rusher for this game. I like Brock Purdy, but the injuries on defense, the injuries on offense. Trent Williams is getting up there in age.
George Kittle was out.
Like he had this was a tall task for a lot of people, I think.
I don't think there's. I don't know how many quarterbacks even could have. Even then, like I just Seattle's is so good. Their team is just so complete.
A well-built team, and we saw it on display. The trade for Rashid Shaheed, that might have chef's kiss.
Well, and I think it's interesting you say that because there's a legitimate art. I know it's hard to like imagine that you could have a coach and a GM win Coach of the Year and Executive of the Year respectively in the same year because it's like one or the other kind of. There is a real argument that Mike McDonald wins Coach of the Year and John Schneider wins Executive of the Year.
I might want to give it to Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, I'm not saying Mike McDonald's a shoo-in to win it, but there's an argument that they could both win that award and it'd be like, yeah, because they both did things respective within their own roles that contributed to this in such a way. So yeah, I don't really have too much else on it. Like, shocker, in case you didn't know, Seattle's defense is really good.
Really?
It's really good. And Sam Darnold, like, this is what they want from Sam Darnold. 12 of 17, 124 yards.
We don't need much. Well, get JSN in there.
Do not make a mistake.
Make some, get Cooper Kupp matriculate down the
Kenneth
field
Walker
for you.
Been really good in the back half of the season.
They did lose Charbonnet,
but Kenneth Walker was really good in this game. He's been solid in the back half of this season. Like,
he has been.
That
3 touchdowns. Jesus Christ. I stopped watching this game, so I'm like, damn, 3 touchdowns.
They just need their offense to do enough, and they're going to be fine. Very curious to see how this game. Like, to me, I genuinely think the Rams are the only team that can beat them, and I don't know if the Rams can beat them.
I don't know. I'm a little iffy. I think I'm leaning just a little bit of preview for championship. I think I'm leaning Denver, but hey, Patriots can still get it. I don't know where I'm leaning for the Seattle Rams.
I'm so excited.
I think I'm leaning Seattle, but my opinion could change on these two teams, on these last 4 teams, and these championship games. Like, this is a fun one. Like, this is a good championship. I love this.
But yeah, I still think it's embarrassing when people are like, I mean, up until before this game started, people saying, I would be shocked if the Seahawks won the Super Bowl. It's like, dude, you have not been paying attention. Like, you just there's no, I hate to say that because the whole you don't know ball crowd is so dumb. And I think we all know ball. Like, we're all watching the sport. We're all paying attention.
We know ball. Some people know ball more than others.
Some people know ball more than others. I'm not saying, but we're all paying attention. Like, people are like, you don't know ball because you disagree with me. It's like, dude, we're all watching the games. We all know what's happening. Stop with that nonsense. But I gotta tell you, if you don't have the Seahawks as a Super Bowl contender, and you're just now coming on board, I'm not gonna say you don't know ball, but I will say you have not been paying attention.
I was late to the party, but I'm here. I've arrived. I'm in the back.
But you would have even then you wouldn't have said even,
I'm on the
you're in the club.
Table.
You're in it.
I am here on the Seattle.
I'm staying late. No, but even you're on board with Seattle's maybe the best team in the. But if I had asked you a month ago, do you think Seattle could win the Super Bowl? You would have been like, of course. Of course. Oh, really? Oh, really? Really?
A month ago. Yeah, I probably was they're probably on that list. Yeah.
Okay. See, I've had them on that list for the whole second half. No,
I was. It took me a while.
Yeah, I love this team. So, but as for the 49ers, guys, I keep telling y'all, no harm. It's fine. Y'all had a phenomenal season.
Kyle Shanahan could win Coach of the Year this year.
I mean, dude, we had them getting.
Talk about Robert Saleh getting another head coaching job.
True. We had them get it at the beginning of the season when we picked when we made our predictions. You and I think, both had them getting bounced in the divisional round. And that was. I mean, either that or but either way, it's neither of us had them in the championship game.
I was I don't think I had them in the
championship. That was before they had literally half of their roster hospitalized. And if you had told me, if I could go back to myself in the future and talk to myself in August and say, hey, I'm just going to let you know they're going to lose Nick Bosa. They're going to lose Fred Warner. George Kittle's going to miss half the season. Brock Purdy's going to miss half the season. Trent Williams is going to be in and out of the lineup. Ricky Pearsall's going to get Brandon Ayuk. You're never going to see him again.
You're never
going to see him again.
Ricky Pearsall. I know he's not a big, but
D. Winters is going to get hurt. Michael Williams is going to get hurt. Just one by
Ron
one
Jennings,
by
I think,
one.
missed some time.
If you had
injuries, it was CMC.
It was CMC. That's it. And if you had told me that all of that was going to happen, and you go, okay, now pick their record. How do you think they're going to do? It's they got the easiest schedule, but
maybe they get 9-8.
I think they're gonna go 9-8, maybe. And they went 12-5. They were a game away from winning the 1 seed.
Yeah, they were.
That's a phenomenal. They won a playoff game. They beat the Eagles in Philadelphia, which I know Kevin Patullo and all that. We're all down on the Eagles, but to go into Philadelphia and beat them, that was an impressive win. So I just. it's no knock on y'all. Like, y'all had a great season. Y'all should feel really good about what you did. Like,
get healthy.
Get another offseason of some talent. They're going to be contenders next year.
Yeah, for sure.
They're going to be around. They're going to be right back in it. And so, I'm not picking on y'all. I'm not picking against y'all to pick on you. Like, I'm just telling you, like, y'all just lost too much this year. Y'all lost. Like,
build different.
Yeah, like they're healthy too.
They're way.
They're healthy. So, yeah. All right. Anyway, we can move on to our Sunday slate. We had.
You got your game, Jake. Now I got my game.
We had one of.
How was that Houston offense?
So look, this is really. It's unfortunate because I don't know if you saw my short breaking down this matchup before the game. So I've done this thing now. It's happened to me a couple weeks where like I'll do all this research and I'll be like, I feel good about this, and then I'll do a little more research and I'll realize, oh, wait a second, I was missing something. And now I'm locked into this team that I really don't believe in that much anymore.
So you went in as like,
So what I found out was the Patriots are the matchup that I said, this is going to be the matchup that decides the game. And I was kind of right. Obviously, the turnovers and the weather were a huge factor. But the matchup I found was I was like, the Patriots are bad in the red zone defensively.
Yes, that's what I...
The Texans are horrific in the red zone offensively. And they went 1 of 4 in the red zone in this game on touchdowns. So, look, 8 turnovers total in this game, the most since 2015. The weather was bad. Drake Maye fumbled it multiple times, sacked 5 times.
Drake Maye wasn't amazing in this.
CJ Stroud. But Drake Maye looked very identical to what he did against the Chargers, struggling all game, turning the ball over, and then makes the play in the fourth quarter to ice it and put it away when he needed to. Like, that's all you needed. That's all you needed from him, because this offense for Houston was anemic.
Is broken.
It's bad. And look, I do want to say this about CJ. Obviously, this game was his fault. They should have benched him. I
was hearing them talk about that during halftime. I'm like, we're benching our starting quarterback.
They should have. I firmly believe they should have.
I mean, he threw 2-3 more back in the second half.
He had 4 interceptions in the first half, and he had a couple more that should have been picked in the second half.
I would have gave him maybe a drive. He came out and got the field goal. He got that field goal, 11 plays, 58 yards.
21-13.
Next drive, 3 plays in, Drake Maye fumbles it. Hey, we're back in this game. Then you fumble it. Marks fumbles it. Not really his fault. They punt it. I mean, it's a game going into the fourth. They get the ball back after the punt. They go down and get a field goal. I mean,
which is a testament to Houston's defense.
Yes,
because
no.
any other team,
this game's over. Yeah.
This game is over at halftime. I mean, especially not even that, but like, I don't even think Houston gave up any points on turnovers. The only one they did was the pick six.
Yeah,
that was it. Like, and I thought it was hilarious at halftime. They're like, well, the Texans have allowed 21 points today. And like, it's a defensive graphic, and they're like, they've allowed 21 points today, and it's like, they have not allowed 21 points today. That is a total misnomer. Stop showing that stat. It's
the Patriots' offense was getting short fields because of the turnovers by the Texans,
and it didn't even matter. It didn't even matter anyway. Like, they weren't giving them up, but like, again, like I already said this, but Troy Aikman, I thought it literally just looked like CJ at one point was just like throwing and praying. Like CJ looked like he was lost, bad lost. And
I was driving home back to my apartment here, and I wasn't watching the game, but I had the audio on. I just feel like he had no confidence.
Yeah,
he had lost his confidence. And I think Troy Aikman also said he's been chasing this dragon he had in his rookie season. And I'm sitting here thinking about it. I'm like, are we gonna fire the OC again? This will be his third OC, and in his 3 years as a starting quarterback, that's not great.
The issue that they had, right, was all season long and last season was the personnel, I think, offensively. Like, this offensive line is still in such need of work. I think they expected more from Joe Mixon. Obviously, they did not get that this year. Nick Chubb and Woody Marks are fine, but, like, you need to have more going for you in the run game if you're going to be competitive. And, like, when Nico Collins doesn't play, when you lose Dalton Schultz early, and you're just throwing to Christian Kirk and Woody Marks running the ball, like, behind a bad O-line and bad weather. Like, CJ's got to play better than that, but there's really nothing to do. I mean, you're just screwed. You're just done. Right. You've lost offensively.
I am not. Now, we had our friend Luke. He's a Houston Texans fan. He was saying get rid of him. I'd say, look, he needs one more year, and I do agree with you. They need to fix that O-line. They got to get more talent there, more depth. Get another running back in here. Like, I was looking at their stats. They ran for, as a team, nobody was a 1,000-yard rusher, but they had over 1,800 yards and 9 rushing touchdowns. They got to do a better job at that. They got to get better at the running and take, some off of CJ Stroud's plate right now, because, like, I just don't feel like he's very confident in these games, especially in these big games. Nico Collins, it's tough. We have been seeing these injuries, so maybe I know they drafted like 2 or 3 wide receivers, all named Jalen, in last year. So maybe get him another, and also a tight end. Also, I like Dalton Schultz, but come on now. So we probably need to get him better tight end, but Houston's in. He was in the Bryce Young draft, right? CJ.
Yeah, he was second to Bryce. Yeah.
I mean, I'd pick up his 5th-year option, but I mean it's a very short leash. I mean, you're looking at these teams that are in these now. It's working out for the Jacksonville. Looks like Liam Cohen has, and we'll see what they do in the future there. But I wouldn't want to pay CJ Stroud. Well, I mean, we're already in the 60s, right? Are we we're getting close to the 60s. We want to be paying CJ Stroud $60 million a year. Like, if I'm paying CJ Stroud $60 million a year, I need to make sure he's that dude. Now, I hear you. In the past 3 seasons, it's him and Josh Allen that have made the postseason in 3 straight years. I hear that,
and won a playoff game in 3 straight years too.
I hear all that, but I mean, he has not looked great since his rookie season. He had he missed some time, so I give him a little bit of grace there. Had 3,000 over 3,000 yards, a little over 3,000, had 19 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, but like, we saw the games. It wasn't pretty most of the time in Houston, offensively. So I'll try to run it back one more year, get some pieces on that defense, because that defense, that is a Super Bowl. That is a Super Bowl talented team. That defense, if this was the early 2000s, this team could have got to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, and what's interesting about CJ and his rookie season is I almost wonder if his rookie season is what is screwing him over right now.
Yeah.
Because his rookie season was so amazing, and you leave his rookie season saying, we're good offensively.
Yeah, like, what are we going to do?
Our offensive line is not great, but it's fine. CJ made it work. Nico Collins is a budding weapon. We get him a running back, Joe Mixon, good news, and we can just build this defense out. And then we're good to go offensively. And then you had all these issues in the last year. You started seeing an uptick in the offense, though, late in the season. They started redoing how they run the ball. They started having a little bit of success. You won a playoff game. CJ had a down year, but you still got 10 wins. And then you come into this year saying, okay, we got you a new coordinator. Probably should have invested more on the line, but it's okay.
They did get one. They in the second or first round, they did get a guard.
They got and their second round pick was a guard. And they drafted a bunch of receivers. They brought in Christian Kirk. So, like, they're still going into it. But, like, I feel like what's happened is if they had been honest with themselves about maybe what CJ was, or, like, not even honest, if they just had known, maybe you would have seen more resources being invested in the offensive side of the ball to help CJ, and rather than what we have now where he's just like, you lose one guy in Nico Collins, and you're bailing water. You're bailing water.
Yeah.
So I think, again, you got another year. Like, you don't have to sign him now.
Yeah,
and even if you do, like, I was listening to the Athletic Football podcast, and they were talking about this with Bryce Young. Like, who is going to be the team that finally says, we're just going to give you a middle tier contract as a quarterback? Like, who is, because Bryce Young is a good candidate for that. CJ might be a good candidate. We're not going to give you the record-setting contract. We'll give you $40 million. We'll give you $35 million.
I'm curious on if these players are willing to settle for that. As an organization, I think that's where these teams need to be doing what these teams need to be doing, and, you know, coming to reality and be like, hey, this is the offer. Like, we don't think we like you, but we're not in love with you. We don't think you're that guy. Like, we need to build this team around you to build you up. Like, we think you can, but we need to build you up. So then, you know, it could show. So if CJ Stroud wants to come in, play ball, okay. 45, 50. I mean, even at this point now, $50 million has to feel like a bargain.
I mean, but even $50 million, like, it's not as detrimental to the cap, but, like, it just at some point, like, we do
48.
We do this with every other position. Like, we do not need to be giving quarterbacks record-setting deals just because it's their turn when they haven't earned that. Like CJ Stroud has done nothing to demonstrate outside of having a great rookie season. And look, he's gotten to the playoffs 3 times. Like, I'm not saying CJ is not worth a contract, but, like, the idea that CJ should demand the same kind of contract as Josh Allen, as Lamar, as Joe Burrow, you know, even Dak. Like, he's won more in the playoffs than Dak, but, like, be honest with yourself. If Houston could trade CJ for Dak, what do you think they're doing?
I think you probably make.
I mean, you probably make that trade at this point.
Yeah.
So, I wonder if somebody's going to be honest with themselves and just finally give that contract and say, we are not afraid of you walking because we don't think anybody else is going to give you more than what we're giving you, or at least not enough for it to make it worth you leaving this team.
I mean, you want to go play with the Jets? Go play for the Jets.
Go play. Yeah. We're gonna give you. We'll give you $45 million. If you want to take the Jets at $55 million, which, for the record, you take that in Houston, you have no state income tax. You take that in New York, you have a lot more state income tax. You're having to uproot your life and move to New York. You're playing with a worse team, a worse organization. Have fun. Yeah, you can have your extra $10 million taxed, by the way, for all that. Like, go ahead and have it. So, yeah, at some point it's got to happen. As for the Patriots, hey, Drake Maye did not have a great game, but, like,
been struggling. Yeah, he's been struggling.
I really do hope that this narrative of, like, they haven't beaten anybody can stop, because
he's getting it. Yeah.
And look, I hear it. You know, people are like, they have the easiest path. Oh, they got the Texans in bad weather, and they got to play the Chargers, who were beat up, and now they get to play the Broncos without their starting quarterback. Like, I mean, yeah. It takes
some breaks.
It takes some breaks to get there. Like, that's what it is. Like, I'm not going to hate on them for having those breaks.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, Denver, like this isn't like Matt Stafford getting hurt or something. Like, the Broncos are not a quarterback-led team, you know? Like, Bo Nix, like, is good. He's not the straw that stirs the drink. You know, it's that defense and that scheme and that offensive line that really do that. So, and those are still there. All right, let's talk about the last game of the week. Oh, my God. What a game. What a game! Saw
I
this
wish there
whole
were a little
game.
bit more points, but hey, it's. It was one of the coldest games uh,
Ever.
ever. So yeah, I'm not expecting. Wasn't expecting a whole lot. Um, Good job by the Rams. I know it was tough. They were coming in. It did look cold out there. I would not want to be out there. We played a snowy game in the playoffs. I wasn't even playing, but on varsity. But that is that was whew, do not miss that. So I can only imagine what they were experiencing out on that field. But good job by the Rams. It was a tough. You were going into a tough situation. Chicago, they're at home. The crowd was very electric. Was a very electric there, and you're a team that plays in the dome on the West Coast, and coming to the North, like it sucks, but I mean they held on. Matthew Stafford made some great plays there. Uh, they ran the ball pretty effectively, especially when it wasn't. Matthew Stafford's kind of not going well all the time, but good on Sean McVay to adjust, and they got the win here. But man, I guess this is what Caleb is. Not like I hope he ggets better, but he's just gonna get you. He's just gonna have that play. Like I yelled. I yelled in my apartment while I was alone, while I was on Discord with my homies, and I was watching this game, and I like yelled out loud when he completed that fourth. Was it 4th and 4?
Yeah, fourth and
It was
four.
4th and 4 on their 14
The down and
yards.
distance, or the distance, doesn't even really matter in the
I mean,
context of how that play ended up.
but just rolling out and just flick of the wrist finds Colston Loveland. This was Cole Kmet. Sorry, Cole Kmet gets the touchdown, ties it up. Insane. Like I was just like, oh, this is what he can do, and it's what happened. But rough game by Caleb. 3 interceptions. Starting the drive off, interceptions. It was just tough. That last interception, I don't know what DJ. I kind of put that more on DJ more than Caleb. I think he's kind of expecting him to cross his face, and DJ Moore just kind of let up. I don't know. I don't really put a lot of that on Caleb, but yeah, rough game for Caleb. But I mean, if you're Chicago, the future must be looking very, very bright. Like I'm Chicago Bear. If I was, I would be holding my head high. Like looks like we found our coach, and our quarterback isn't a bust, and he's amazing. I don't know how much he can make his career on being this comeback kid, but it's exciting, and you hope that as we've been talking about throughout these playoffs and throughout the years, if he can just fix the little things, and they continue to run the ball well, which I think they will with Ben Johnson being at the helm, and then they get that defense turned around, which I think they can do that in the draft with just young talent or this offseason. They're still Caleb Williams on his rookie scale, so you should be feeling bright for the Bears. And for the Rams, you got a tall task. You're on the road again. It's going to be another cold game, but it shouldn't be as this cold. And also, last bit, the Rams special teams have been a struggle throughout this year. I think they fired their kicker. It was great to see, that, relying on their kicker at the end of the game in OT, hitting a 42-yarder. Like, that's hard. Like, that is hard to do in Soldier Field with it being all snowy and stuff like that. So, yeah, good job by the Rams. I think you can do it, but it's a tough task to be in Seattle. It is going to be cold up there, but it ain't going to be this cold, hopefully.
And I will say, before we kind of sign off, I guess I'll say this really quick about the game. So I loved what the Bears were doing schematically in this game. Like, it was so good because
I think Ben Johnson there, they should be.
Well, even defensively too, because
Dennis Allen has been doing a great job.
You're good. That first half against the Packers, brutal. But that second half, they really started changing it up more. They started blitzing more. They started bringing corner blitzes specifically, and that was throwing off that Packers offense the whole time. They carried that into this game, throwing corner blitzes like crazy. I know they got burned by that catch by Puka because they did an all-out blitz, but like they were running that all game long. And they were living and dying off of it. It's happy when you sack Matt Stafford, and when you sack Matt Stafford, it's like great. I love that play call, but when they do a little dig route to Puka Nacua and Puka catches it and gets a big gain, everybody wants to be like, well, why are you doing that play call? It's like, that's what we've been doing all game, and
this defense teams could go up and down. Like this team was living and dying on turnovers.
And Jaquan Brisker in this game, he was phenomenal.
He was around.
In one drive,
tackles, 8 solo, had a sack, had a TFL. He was all over the field.
In one drive, he had a run stuff where he came down from the secondary and met Kyron Williams in the hole on the cutback and tackled him. He had a sack on that drive, and he had the pass breakup in coverage that ended the drive and forced them to punt. He was absolute and really like they've been really banged up, the Bears have, in that area all year long. But like when you get Jalen Johnson back there, when you get Stevenson back there, when you get Kevin Byard, when you get Brisker back there, like
Kevin Byard was in this game.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like when you have all of them as a unit back there.
CJ Gardner-Johnson, I think, was back for this game. Yeah,
it's the unit that I think Bears fans were really hoping to see all year long, and it wasn't always available because of all those injuries.
Yeah,
they got them back at the right time, and I know it was cold. Yeah. I know that helps, but like that was a that was a great job by that unit. So, kudos to them. I was really frustrated by the offense for a lot of this game. Like some of the decisions to go for it on fourth down, I didn't love, but I was like, okay, fine. Some of the play calling on fourth down, I just could not get behind. I really was not in support of, running it. Like there was one time they ran it 3 straight times on the goal line. First and goal from the 5, they run it 2 yards.
What? Yeah, look, Caleb.
Then they run it again, 2 more yards, and then they run it again and get stuffed. And then it's like, okay, now fourth and goal, we're going to pass. And it's like, I kind of wish you'd passed it on like second down. You know what I mean? So it's just stuff like that like was really frustrating me. It is what it is. Like, I felt like the Bears offense, just their inconsistency is what killed them in this game because they had the Rams offense dead to rights for a lot of this game. 10-10 in going into halftime. They held the Rams to a field goal at the end of the half, and then they come out and they stopped the Rams.
They were driving on the opening drive.
That was their drive. They scored a touchdown on. Are you talking about the Bears?
Are you talking about the Rams? I'm sorry.
I'm talking about the Rams, but the Bears too.
My bad.
No, because I was gonna. It was gonna tie into the Bears offense here. So the Rams, like the Bears defense had that offense dead to rights. And it was just drive after drive after drive. I'm sitting here, I'm watching it with a bunch of Bears fans, my in-laws and my wife, and I'm just sitting here like,
it was a whole
they
lot of
need
punts.
to score.
It was a whole lot of punts.
You're not going to hold the Rams forever. Like they're going to get a touchdown. This offense is it's the best offense in the league. Like you're not going to hold them forever. And every time they punt the ball, you should consider that a gift. And they just were squandering it. They just were not getting down the field, and it caught up to them because the Rams scored a touchdown late, and it forced a drive, and they scored. I'll give them credit. They scored. It was a miracle, but they did it.
When they needed to, he got it done.
And then they stop him in overtime. They get the ball. Caleb throws that tough interception, his third of the night. Yeah. Third of the night. The guy who doesn't throw turnovers had 3 of them.
That one, I know that the other 2 are really – that one, I think DJ Moore kind of quit. Like,
I think passing was tough. Like, both quarterbacks were off accuracy-wise all night. I think the weather was hitting them. Both, I think, were dealing with finger issues.
Yeah.
But
I think he –
Caleb throws that interception, and it's just like – again, it's that factor of, like, I don't think you can stop him again. Like, I think you had it. I think you got lucky. Like, the fact that you have stopped him as much as you have up to this point has been really fortunate. And and then Matt Stafford, like, I just need a play. I just got Puka Nacua making crazy plays for me. I got Matt Stafford making the throw of the year to Devontae Adams on the sidelines out there, and the catch of the year to boot. And it's over. Yeah. You just can't, like, this team is too good to give a second chance to. And if you give the Rams a second chance, you're going to die. Like, you're just going to die.
Thing with the Rams were they were the team that would let you get the second chance. They would give you that.
Yeah.
And then the Bears,
and they kind of did.
And the Bears were this like comeback team, so yeah, it just didn't work out.
Well, and that is how it played out, right? Like the idea that last pass Caleb had on 4th down, like what team in the league would score that, and what team in the league would give that up?
And he was wide open too.
Yeah, I mean, it was weird because the defender,
like I think,
he was there and he like stepped up. Like, it's like he misjudged the ball and he stepped up and then realized, I am way too far up, and he couldn't correct in time, and Cole Kmet just wide open catches it.
Yeah.
So very interesting, very fun. But
if you're Chicago, the future should be bright.
It was a great week, and a great season. You knocked the Packers out of the playoffs.
Right.
Like, doesn't get much better than that. So, yeah.
11-6.
Very, very happy if Bears fans should be. And you're going to be able to go into this offseason, commit some more resources on defense. Caleb gets another year in the system. Like, the future is bright. The future is bright. So, one more thing, Christian, I will say, just to tease our next episode. We had both conference sides of the bracket have an overtime game this week. Since the Super Bowl merger, there have been, before this weekend, there have been 14 times that a team had to play in overtime in the divisional round. They are 4-10 in the championship round.
The winner?
The winner. So we got 2 more. These are going to be the 15th and 16th games that feature a team that went into overtime the previous week. And they are 4-10 in those situations. And that just, again, the wear and tear of the season.
I mean, the Rams were just in a really cold game, yeah.
And they played late. The Seahawks were resting starters on Saturday in the fourth quarter. The Rams had to just play 5 quarters on Sunday, and they got to turn around a week later and travel to Seattle. So
it should be less cold, but
it will be less cold, but
it'll still be
just a factor to think about it.
No, that is very interesting. That's a really good tidbit.
All right, well, we did it, y'all. It's been a fun episode, but we'll let you go. But we love you. We cherish you. We're on YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, Apple, TikTok. We're everywhere. So give us a like, give us a comment, give us a share, give us a rating. Tell people about us to your friends. You know the drill. Just please, water cooler, all of it. We are trying to make a living, maybe. Not even a living. Just, if we get some cash from this, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. But we'll talk to y'all later. We'll be back later this week to break down the 2 AFC championships. Got some deep dive thoughts into that. Should be fun. And then we're going to have to figure out what we're going to talk about on Sunday, because we ain't going to have any games to read. Oh, yeah, we're going to recap the games, and then we'll figure it out. Yeah, we got the awards, so we'll figure it out. It's a lot of good stuff coming up. So, everybody, we love you. We cherish you. We appreciate you. Thanks for listening, and have a great week.
Yeah.